At first glance, it may seem like the Transformers movies are pretty simple, but look a little closer and you'll find a series with a history that is more than meets the eye. And with that painfully obvious joke out of the way, let's put the events of the Transformers movies into chronological order. We cover everything up through the events of The Last Knight, so consider this your spoiler warning. The first entry on our timeline is not on our timeline, because as the opening narration to the first Transformers movie tells us,
before time began, there was the cube.
The cube in question is the Allspark, a relic capable of creating worlds and filling them with life, which is how Transformers came into existence on their homeworld, Cybertron, or so they believe. Because as we learn in Age of Extinction, Transformers weren't really born of some magical cube that fell from the sky. No, they were created by the creators. What's more, these creators came to Earth 65 million years ago to plant seeds. But not cool seeds like sunflower seeds, terraforming seeds that convert organic matter into transformium, the building blocks of all Cybertronian life. Transformers don't run on sunshine and kisses. They run on energon. One way they create energon is by using star harvesters, which, you guessed it, harvest stars. The Primes, Cybertron's leaders, have one rule: never destroy the sun of a planet with life. One of the Primes, the Fallen, decides this rule's not for him, travels to Earth, and places a star harvester in Egypt. The other Primes arrive to stop the Fallen and put him in Transformers jail. The Primes then sacrifice themselves to seal away the key to the Star Harvesters, the Matrix of Leadership, in a tomb made of their own bodies. Pretty metal. Thousands of years pass, and as the Allspark's power dwindles, civil war breaks out on Cybertron between two groups, the Autobots, led by Optimus Prime, and the Decepticons, led by Megatron, the Fallen's apprentice. At some point during the war, the Allspark is lost in space. As the war rages to its close, Sentinel Prime, Optimus's mentor, escapes Cybertron on a ship called the Ark with technology that could win the Autobots the war. We'll see how Sentinel's mission went a little later on. Around 10,000 BC, the Allspark falls to Earth. Megatron's in hot pursuit, but his efforts are about to get put on ice. Megatron reaches Earth, but he doesn't exactly stick the landing. Instead, he crashes in the Arctic Circle, where he'll stay frozen for nearly 12,000 years. It's 484 AD, and King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table are battling for survival against the Saxons. They're buying time for Merlin, the alcoholic wizard, to retrieve a weapon that will see them through to victory. This weapon? A staff stolen from Quintessa, a Cybertronian goddess. The staff was stolen by Cybertron's knights, Quintessa's protectors, to stop her from destroying Earth. Merlin uses the staff to power up the Knights of the Round Table, and the Britons win the war. Merlin's DNA is encoded into the staff so that only one of his descendants will be able to wield it. To protect this bloodline and the secret of the Transformers' existence, the Knights of the Round Table form the Order of the Witwickens. The order goes on through history to include such luminaries as Michelangelo, Da Vinci, Shakespeare, Stephen Hawking, and Shia LaBeouf. Sam Witwicky. Speaking of Sam, it's about time we start learning the family history of the Witwickys. In 1897, renowned explorer Captain Archibald Witwicky is leading an expedition to the Arctic Circle. He falls into a cave and discovers Megatron frozen solid. He accidentally activates Megatron's navigation systems, which imprint the location of the Allspark onto his glasses. In 1913, the first 7 discover the Allspark. 14 years later, in 1927, these men become the pillars of Sector 7, a secret government bureau dedicated to monitoring extraterrestrial life. 7 years later, the frozen Megatron is brought to the newly erected Hoover Dam, which was built to conceal both he and the Allspark. During World War II, Autobot scout Bumblebee does his patriotic duty by fighting alongside the Allied forces, which is great, because it would have been a huge bummer if Bumblebee had been a Nazi. In 1961, Sentinel Prime and the Ark finally crash on the moon. President Kennedy immediately orders a mission to investigate the crash site, triggering the space race. 8 years later, the United States lands Apollo 11 on the moon. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin board the Ark and discover Sentinel Prime in stasis. Russia eventually gets to the moon and takes home a souvenir, a fuel cell from the Ark. They test that cell at Chernobyl, triggering a disaster that renders the surrounding land uninhabitable. It's passed off as a nuclear meltdown. In 2003, a NASA rover transmits a short video from Mars of Starscream, Megatron's second-in-command. 4 years later, the Decepticons make their move, attacking American intelligence systems to find the location of Megatron and the Allspark. They discover the coordinates to both are imprinted on the glasses of Captain Witwicky, the explorer who first discovered Megatron. Those glasses are now in the possession of Captain Witwicky's great-great-grandson, Sam. Sam, Ladies Man 217 to his eBay customers, gets swept into the fight when he buys an old Camaro, which just so happens to be our Nazi-killing friend Bumblebee. B defends Sam and his soon-to-be girlfriend Mikaela from an attack by Decepticon Barricade. Optimus Prime and the other Autobots soon join Bumblebee, Sam, and Mikaela, intent on keeping Captain Witwicky's glasses away from the Decepticons. Sam, Mikaela, and Bumblebee fall into the hands of Agent Simmons and the rest of Sector 7, and they're brought to the Hoover Dam, where Sector 7 is keeping Megatron and the Allspark. The Decepticons track Sam down and cripple the facility's cryostasis systems, allowing Megatron to escape. Bumblebee shrinks the Allspark down to the size of a convenient plot device and steals away to Mission City to defend it with the rest of the Autobots. The Autobots and Decepticons beat the hell out of each other, and Sam, using the power of the Allspark, kills Megatron. The President orders Sector 7 disbanded, and the remains of the Decepticons are dropped to the bottom of the ocean. Optimus transmits a message to any Autobots in space, inviting anyone in hiding to join them to listen to Linkin Park. It's 2009, the year of racist robots, horny robots, incontinent robots, robot heaven, more horny robots, and... Alright, let's get through this. The US Army and the Autobots have established NEST, a coalition intent on hunting down Decepticons on Earth. During a mission in Shanghai, Decepticon Demolisher tells NEST,
"The Fallen shall rise again."
Yes, our old friend the Fallen is back, and he's not happy. As Sam packs for college, he discovers a shard of the Allspark, which makes him go crazy with ancient Cybertronian knowledge, just like Captain Witwicky before him. Nest also has an Allspark shard, which Decepticon Ravage is able to steal from their base. The Decepticons use the shard to resurrect Megatron. The Fallen instructs his apprentice to kill Optimus and capture Sam. He gets halfway there. Sam and Mikaela, along with Agent Simmons, go to a museum and visit Jetfire, a Decepticon who's kind of over the whole intergalactic war thing. Jetfire teleports them all to Egypt and tells them that the Fallen is hunting down the Matrix of Leadership, the key to the Star Harvester buried there. But oh no, it could be anywhere in the desert, however will Sam and company find it? Oh wait, this is the worst Transformers movie, so the stars lead them there or something. And oh hey look, they have the Matrix of Leadership! Alright, let's just fast forward a bit here. The Fallen arrives with his Decepticons, they kill Sam, he goes to the Cybertronian afterlife, the Primes tell him the Matrix of Leadership was inside him all along, and he comes back to life. Sam brings Optimus back to life with the newly reassembled Matrix. Can't anyone please stay dead in this franchise? Optimus kills the Fallen, and there, we're done with this movie, moving on. 2 years later, Nest receives intel about the fuel cell taken by the Russians from Sentinel Prime's Ark on the moon. They arrive at Chernobyl with Optimus and recover it. The Autobots then travel to the moon themselves to bring back Sentinel Prime, along with the technology he was transporting inside the Ark, the Space Bridge, a device capable of moving matter through space and time.
But that matter's totally just resources and refugees,
Optimus says. But plot twist! Sentinel is actually allied with the Decepticons now and is planning on teleporting the ruined Cybertron to Earth so that humanity can rebuild it for them. Sentinel forces Earth's governments to exile the Autobots with the promise that the Decepticons will leave in peace after, depleting our natural resources to rebuild Cybertron. But apparently, that deal's good enough for us. We strap the Autobots to a rocket, which Starscream blows out of the sky, and the Decepticons immediately invade Chicago. But of course, the Autobots didn't really die, so they come back and foil Sentinel Prime and the Decepticons' evil machinations. Machinations, because they're machines. The age of LaBeouf is over, the age of Wahlberg hath begun. Cade Yeager's your average dad/junker/inventor/entrepreneur, and he's just nabbed himself a rusty old truck from an abandoned theater. There's a country song about all that in there somewhere. After some due diligence, Cade concludes that this truck is a Transformer, delivering the best line in the franchise.
I think we just found a Transformer.
And of course, he's right. It's Optimus Prime, who's been in hiding since he was ambushed by Cemetery Wind, the CIA's secret Transformer hunting operation. Harold Attinger, the head of Cemetery Wind, is dealing with Cybertronian bounty hunter Lockdown to hunt down all remaining Transformers on Earth. Cemetery Wind tracks Optimus to Cade's farm, and they narrowly escape. After regrouping with the other Autobots, Cade and Optimus realize that defense contractor KSI has been hauling away Transformer wreckage after Cemetery Wind operations. Cade infiltrates KSI and discovers they're researching Transformium and building their own Transformers. Their crown jewel? Galvatron, a homemade Transformer built using Megatron's robo-DNA. As Cade and the Autobots flee, Galvatron and the other KSI drones chase them, and eventually, Lockdown shows up and captures Optimus, telling him his creators want him back. As payment for helping him capture Optimus, Lockdown gives Attinger a Transformium seed. In return for a bunch of shares in the company, Attinger gives the seed to the head of KSI, Joshua Joyce, who's planning to set it off in the desert to harvest all that sweet Transformium. Lockdown imprisons Optimus on his ship, but Cade arrives in short order to free him. They detach a shuttle from Lockdown's ship and regroup with the Autobots. Things aren't going so great over at KSI. Galvatron goes full Megatron and escapes, hunting the seed so he can use it to raise a new army of Decepticons. Joyce takes the seed to Hong Kong, where the Autobots and Decepticons duke it out as usual. In need of some help, Optimus recruits the Dinobots, noble Cybertronian warriors. Optimus rides one of the noble warriors like a horsey into battle, and together they defeat all the bad guys, with assistance from Cade and family, of course. Optimus leaves Earth in search of his creators, but in the end, he only finds one. 3 years later, Optimus lands on Cybertron and finally meets his maker, Quintessa. She reveals to him that the Earth he's tried so hard to protect is actually Unicron, a massive transformer which contains enough energy to revive Cybertron. Quintessa brainwashes Optimus, commanding him to retrieve her staff so that she can use it to initiate the energy transfer. Cade and the Autobots have been in hiding ever since Optimus left. On a scavenging run, he finds one of Quintessa's knights in a crashed ship. With his dying breath, the knight gives Cade an artifact known as the Talisman. This brings him to the attention of Sir Edmund Burton, a member of the Order of Witwickens, and Vivian Wembley, a history professor at Oxford. Remember how the Order of the Witwickens protect Merlin's bloodline? Well, Vivian learns that she is Merlin's last living descendant, and the only person on Earth who can find and wield Quintessa's staff. They find the staff, but they don't hold on to it for too long. Quintessa and Optimus, or Nemesis Prime as he's going by now, ride Cybertron all the way back to Earth and they begin their assault with the help of the Decepticons. Nemesis takes back the staff from the humans and gives it to Quintessa, who begins sapping Earth's energy, or Unicron, whatever you prefer. Nemesis Prime and B duke it out, but B has a secret weapon up his sleeve. His own voice, which is enough to snap Optimus out of his brainwashed state. The Knights of Cybertron are about to execute Optimus for his betrayal when Cade jumps in to protect him with the Talisman, which turns into Excalibur, making Cade the last knight of the title. Our merry gang of Autobots and humans attack Quintessa, steal her staff back, and kill her. Ha, just kidding. As we've stated, nobody stays dead in these movies. She shows up in the desert shortly after, spouting some threatening knowledge about Unicron. Optimus transmits another "Earth's our home now" message out to any Transformers left in space, and all is well. Until next time. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the entire history of the Transformers movie franchise. If you like this video, check out our review of The Last Knight. If you need another chronological fix, watch our deep dives into the timelines of Wolverine and the Alien movies. And don't forget to follow and subscribe wherever you like to watch IGN.